Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that your bank account is frozen. Your phone won't work. The grocery store won't let you buy food. Your employer tells you they can't pay you anymore. Not because you've done anything illegal, but because you refuse to worship. This isn't science fiction. It's prophecy. And according to the book of Revelation, it's coming. Let's look at what Revelation 13, 7 through 8 actually says. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. This passage describes a time when a single authority, the beast, will control every tribe, language, and nation on earth. Not just some countries, not just a region, everyone. Everywhere. And those who refuse to worship this system will face consequences unlike anything history has ever seen. Your alarm doesn't go off because your smart home system has been deactivated. You're flagged in the global database as non-compliant. The beast's system, as described in Revelation 13, 16 through 17, requires a mark to buy or sell, but it goes deeper than commerce. It controls access to everything digital, and in the end times, everything is digital. You manually turn on the lights. Your electricity still works, for now. The power companies haven't shut you off yet. But the smart meter outside your home is reporting your usage patterns to central authorities. They know you're awake. They know you're using power. They're watching. The beast's authority is over all kindreds and tongues and nations. This isn't just political control. It's technological, surveillance, data. Every keystroke, every transaction, every movement tracked and recorded. The prophecy speaks of total dominion, and in our connected world, total dominion means total visibility.
You check the pantry. 3 cans of beans, some rice, a loaf of bread that's getting stale. This is what's left. Yesterday you tried to buy groceries. The automated checkout scanned your hand, the way everyone pays now. But instead of approving the purchase, the screen flashed red. Account restricted. See administrator. The store manager was apologetic but firm. I can't override the system. You need the mark. It's federal law now. Global law. She didn't say it with malice. She said it with pity, because she knows what refusing the mark means. Revelation 13:7 says the beast is given power to make war with the saints and to overcome them. This war isn't always physical. It's economic. It's social. It's the slow, crushing pressure of being excluded from normal life. You can't buy food. You can't pay rent. You can't participate in society. And every day, that pressure mounts. You hear music coming from the neighbor's house. Not worship music like you remember from church. This is different. It's the state-sanctioned broadcast, the daily worship hour, mandatory viewing for anyone who wants to keep their mark active. The broadcast features the image of the beast, and everyone is required to bow, to pledge allegiance, to worship. Through the window, you see your neighbors, people you've known for years, standing in their living room, hands raised toward the screen. They're not doing it out of love. They're doing it out of fear. Fear of losing their jobs, fear of losing their homes, fear of being labeled a dissident and disappearing in the night. Revelation 13:8 tells us that all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life. This is the great dividing line. Not wealth, not nationality, not education, but worship. Those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life will refuse. Everyone else will bow, and the beast's system is designed to make that refusal unbearable.
You try to message your sister across the country, but your phone is locked. Your social media accounts have been suspended. Your email bounces back. The global communication network, once a tool for connection, has become a weapon of isolation. The beast system doesn't just control commerce, it controls information. Who can speak? Who can be heard? Revelation speaks of authority over all kindreds and tongues and nations, every people group, every language. In practical terms, this means controlling the platforms where those languages are spoken, the internet, the airwaves, everything. You remember the early days when dissenting voices could still be found online, people who questioned the New World Order, preachers who warned about the mark, but one by one they were silenced, deplatformed, arrested. The algorithm learned to identify dangerous content, and dangerous meant anything that contradicted the official narrative. You make your way carefully through the city, avoiding cameras where you can. There's a gathering today, other believers who've refused the mark. You've been meeting in basements, abandoned buildings, forests, anywhere the surveillance grid has gaps. When you arrive, you see faces marked by hunger and exhaustion, but also by something else: peace. These are the saints mentioned in Revelation 13:7, the ones the beast makes war against. They've lost their jobs, their savings, their social standing. Some have lost family members who took the mark and turned them in, but they haven't lost their faith. Someone opens a worn Bible, one of the few physical copies left since digital Bibles were scrubbed of offensive passages. You read together from Revelation 13 and then from earlier chapters. You remind each other of what's coming: the return of Christ, the defeat of the beast, the new Jerusalem. The prophecy says the beast will overcome the saints. This doesn't mean destroy their souls. Their names remain in the book of life, but it means physical persecution, martyrdom. The world will appear to win, but Revelation reminds you that this victory is temporary. The Lamb who was slain will return as the Lion who conquers.
On your way home, you hear sirens. Not unusual these days. The enforcement squads are everywhere, rounding up those who refuse to comply. You duck into an alley as armored vehicles pass by, their speakers blaring the official message: compliance is safety, the mark is freedom, resistance is terrorism. You think about the verse: the beast has power over all kindreds and tongues and nations. This isn't just Rome or Babylon, it's everywhere. There's nowhere to run, no safe country, no neutral ground. The globalization that once seemed so convenient has become the infrastructure of tyranny. You see a woman being dragged from her apartment building. She's crying, but not in terror, in worship. She's singing a hymn even as they force her into the vehicle. The crowd watches in silence. Some look away in shame, others nod in approval, believing the propaganda that she's a threat to public safety. You make it home safely, but there's a notice on your door, official letterhead: final warning, register for compliance by midnight or face detainment. The mark centers are open 24 hours now. All you have to do is walk in, bow before the image of the beast, receive the mark, and your life goes back to normal. Your bank account unlocks, your phone works, you can buy food again. It's just a formality, they say, just a sign of loyalty, just a practical necessity in the new economy. But you know what it really is: worship. The very thing Revelation 13:8 warns about. Those who worship the beast prove their names aren't written in the Lamb's book of life. You tear up the notice. The decision was already made the moment you understood what the mark represented. Better to starve than to deny Christ. Better to die than to worship the beast. Your name is written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, and no earthly power can erase it. You sit in the darkness, the electricity finally cut off, and you pray. Not for rescue from this world. That's not the promise. The promise is that your suffering has meaning, that your refusal to bow is recorded in heaven, that you will be among those who reign with Christ. You hear footsteps outside, heavy boots on pavement. They're coming. The beast makes war with the saints and overcomes them, not spiritually, but physically. You understand now what that means. This body may be overcome, but your soul cannot be touched. The door splinters open, flashlights blind you, rough hands grab you, but even as they drag you away, you remember the words of Revelation: the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Christ knew this was coming. He knew you'd be here, and he overcame death itself so that you could face this moment with courage. This isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to prepare you. Revelation 13:7-8 describes a real future event when the beast will have unprecedented global power. But it also reveals something crucial. The beast's power is limited and temporary. It's given to him, meaning God allows it for a season, for purposes we may not fully understand until we see them from eternity. The passage tells us the beast will overcome the saints. This is honest prophecy. It doesn't promise earthly victory for believers during this time, but it does promise something better, that those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life will not worship the beast. They cannot. It's impossible, not because of their own strength, but because of the Lamb's. The phrase, "from the foundation of the world," reminds us that God's plan, including your salvation, was established before any of this began, before the beast rose, before the mark was implemented, before time itself. Your name was written in that book not because of what you do during the tribulation, but because of what Christ did on the cross.
First, it teaches us about the beast's scope. This isn't a regional dictator, it's global control. All kindreds, tongues, and nations means no exceptions. Technology makes this possible in a way it never was before. Digital currency, biometric identification, social credit systems. These aren't sci-fi anymore. They're tools waiting to be weaponized. Second, it teaches us about the beast's goal. Not just political power, but worship. The beast wants what belongs to God alone, the devotion of human hearts. The mark isn't primarily economic, it's spiritual. Taking the mark is an act of worship, a declaration of allegiance to a false god. Third, it teaches us about the saints' identity. They're identified not by their suffering, but by their names in the book of life. Their refusal to worship isn't heroic willpower, it's the natural result of belonging to Christ. Those who truly know the Lamb cannot bow to the beast. Fourth, it teaches us about God's sovereignty. The beast's power is given to him. He operates within divine permission. This isn't dualism, good and evil as equal forces. This is God allowing evil to run its course so that his justice, mercy, and glory can be fully revealed when Christ returns. A day under the beast's global system ends the way it begins, with a choice: worship the creature or worship the Creator. Take the mark or trust the Lamb. Preserve this life or gain eternal life. The Bible doesn't sugarcoat what this choice costs: physical persecution, economic exclusion, social rejection, even death. But it also doesn't hide what this choice gains: a name in the book of life, a place in the New Jerusalem, a crown of life that never fades. Revelation 13:7-8 is both warning and comfort. Warning, this is coming, and it will be harder than we imagine. Comfort, those who belong to Christ will endure, not by their strength, but by His grace. The beast may overcome our bodies, but he cannot touch our souls. So if you're reading this before the trumpet sounds, before the beast rises, before the mark is implemented, get ready. Not with stockpiles of food or bunkers in the mountains. Get ready spiritually. Make sure your name is written in the Lamb's book of life. And if it is, stand firm, because a day is coming when that's all that will matter. And if you're reading this during those days, if you're living through what we've described, if you're facing the choice right now, remember whose you are. Remember what Christ endured for you. Remember that your suffering is temporary, but your salvation is eternal. The beast system will fall. His kingdom will crumble. But those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life will stand before the throne of God, wearing white robes, singing the song of the redeemed. That's not speculation. That's prophecy. That's promise. That's hope. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Revelation 12:11.